Hello and welcome to the video. This is my no hype overview of these things here. These are the Cobra X box goggles from Eachine and Skyzone. Now, I am a fan of box goggles. I've had a look at a lot in the past. My favourite cheap and cheerful box goggles are probably still the Cyclops Diversity from Hobby King. They are great goggles for the money. And then if you want a really beautiful set of box goggles, then check out my review of the Fat Shark Recon and the Fat Shark Scout. But when these were listed on the website, I thought, oh, that's interesting. Somebody's actually putting some effort into making box goggles. And that's actually a really good thing because lots of people can't get on with the binocular style of goggles. If you have any kind of sight issues that require you to wear spectacles, or you have something like astigmatism, the binocular goggles that you see in all of the online Instagram posts just don't work. These, however, are an awful lot better. And I'm very pleased to say right out the gate that the people who have designed these, and I'm guessing this is Skyzone's influence, have done a really nice job. You can fit spectacles in it. Hallelujah. They've actually thought about people who don't have the sight of a teenager. Now, there's lots of really cool stuff on here, and I'll go through this as I unbox it, and then I'll show you some of the stuff that I'm particularly impressed with. So let's get into the unboxing, and I'll go through the detail. So the specs are on the back, and you can see the difference between the two. The big differences are the Cobra X has the higher screen resolution and also supports 16:9 as well as 4.3 and supports different languages outside of just Chinese and English. Apart from that, an awful lot of the specs are the same. There's some really cute stuff in here though. There is a head tracker in both of them. There's an HDMI input port. There are multiple ways to power it as well. So on the top of this, inside this little bay, which is actually, seems to be the same kind of format that you'll find in binocular style goggles, which is a really cute idea, is something called the Rapid Mix Receiver. Now this appears to be their attempt at the kind of rapid fire and high-end receivers that actually constitute the image all the time from both of the receivers. In practice, when I've been playing with it here, it's actually worked quite well. Is it as good as a £150 module? No, it's not, but it does seem to cope with general flying very nicely indeed. All the controls on the top of here are scroll wheel style, and all of the buttons for the different things like the power button, the mode button, and also the stop and start recording button all have a little legend embossed on them, even though in lower light it can be a bit tricky to see which is which. The lenses inside this are very nice indeed and are very reminiscent of the ones that I found inside the Fat Sharks. Rather than being one individual lens, there are two lenses, one for each eye, that really make it nice and easy to focus on a very bright, clear, crisp screen at the other end. The other really nice thing about this is underneath you can put in an 18650 battery. If you do that, then the overall weight isn't too bad at all. The strap has the overhead piece, and as you can see here, you do have to stick in the pads and the Velcro that holds them into place. It will also be powered from a 2.6S LiPo and also from USB as well. On the bottom, we have the SD card for the onboard DVR. The onboard DVR as well in the X version of this seems to be a higher quality and seems to work quite nice. There's an AV in, a HDMI in, as well as on the other side the USB connection, which is a C-style connection, the head tracker output, which is impressive, and you've got your DC in port as well. Lots of bits of foam in the kit that mean that you can not only have it in its default configuration, but you can put the foam in different places so that it fits really nicely and there's a minimum of light leaks. There is an auto scan in this. The dimensions are kind of 100mm high, 165mm wide, and about 122mm deep. Now to actually wear them, they don't look terrible because they're actually quite short. So when you wear them, once you've got the strap sorted out, they are very comfortable. I do think you need the top strap because of the weight of the battery. If the weight of the battery isn't here and you're running it from an external power supply, then it's a little bit easier to manage. But the view and the image in here is absolutely lovely. The menu system is very nice and easy to navigate. The fact there's a head tracker in here, the way the receiver works, how easy it is to find the frequency and band you're after. There's also an auto scan function as well. This is actually a really nice set of goggles, particularly when you take into account the fact that they're costing less than my rapid fire module for my Fat Shark HDO2s. So in this configuration with the battery at the bottom, this is weighing 421 grams and is quite comfortable. The fit is not bad at all. There's a nice cutout, but I love the fact that they have, again, made the little pieces on the side so you can slide glasses in. I think if you had sight, if you needed glasses for reading, something more than about 1.5, I think you might need to have to wear them to use these. These are at the edge of my comfort level. Again, if you've got young guys, it won't matter at all, but it's nice to know even if you have older guys and need a bit of sight correction, it doesn't matter. You can put your spectacles in here, and if you don't need spectacles, then there's bits of foam you can put in the side that will block the light leaks. There is a pad for over the nose. The nose recess is very wide. For my kind of classic European nose, there is a bit of light leak at the side. But to be honest, in practice, the rest of it fits so well on my face, I'm not really noticing that at all. But it would be quite easy for me to put a couple of pads in here just to cut that light leak down. SMA antennas on the top, I like to see that. I love the fact that we've actually got Skyzone and Eachine actually together working on this thing, and I love the fact we've got the logos for each of them on the side. It looks like the two brains are definitely better than one because they've come up with a really nice set of goggles. As weirdly as this sounds, I like the fact that it's slightly this off grey colour. I'm not a fan of the white ones, they just show all the muck and the smudges. I'm not a fan of black ones, particularly in the sunshine. For the 3 days in the UK that we get that, it can make them very hot when they're on your face. So there are only a couple of things that you need to be aware of. As you saw from the unboxing, there isn't any case to keep them safe in. I guess that's to keep the price down. A little soft case, even something like that would have been quite nice just to stop the lenses being scratched inside. Latency testing in here wasn't super low. It's about, from the rig that I've got here using a GoPro on a high frame rate, around 26, 30 milliseconds. Now that is not going to be good enough for high-end super speed racing, but to be honest, if you are high-end super speed quadcopter racing, these aren't going to be the goggles you're going to be wearing anyway. But for general flying, even some kind of hard acrobatic style FPV, these are absolutely going to be fine. The strap is okay. It's not particularly great. The big pad at the back, it's quite comfortable even with the battery in it. Again, there's lots of adjustment on here depending on the size of your head and how big your haircut is. And the other thing, of course, is because it's using this kind of module system at the top, the antennas are very close in. Now that means when you buy your antennas, and you're definitely going to have to get yourself some more antennas, these kind of rubber ducky style ones that come here, which are linear antennas. Everyone tells me off for calling them other things. I just love the fact that in here is actually this little module, which is basically the kind of module that you get in your normal kind of Fat Sharks and Skyzones and other bits and pieces as well. I just think that's a really smart idea and potentially gives such a cute way to provide upgradability. Now, I've not seen box goggles this comprehensive and performing this well since I did that review of the Fat Sharks, and the Fat Sharks are a little bit more expensive. For me, this is a 4-pill set of goggles. I would have given them 5 pills, but at the moment I don't know how long they're going to last, and also I don't know what the kind of backup is going to be from the manufacturers. Hopefully there is going to be a bit of backup, because that's one of the reasons that personally I use a lot of Fat Shark stuff. If my Fat Shark goggles break, I can just send them to a local service centre and get them fixed. So maybe in 6 months' time, if I did the video again, it might be 5 stars. It's kind of 4.5, I guess, but I don't have a graphic for that. But these are recommended if you are looking to get into FPV. You don't want to spend a fortune. You're worried about whether or not you're going to be able to with your site correction with them. You don't want to break the bank, but you want all the goodies and toys, including things like head trackers. Then these are definitely worth a look. Congratulations, Skyzone. Congratulations, Eachine. These are cracking. Let's have more of this. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organized into easy to follow playlists that if you're trying to learn a topic will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.